Hey there, Knight Rider fans. Welcome back to Plot in Minutes. Today we're diving into episode 2 of the 2008 Knight Rider series, Journey to the End of the Night. If you missed our recap of the pilot episode, where we met Mike Tresseur, discovered his connection to Michael Knight, and watched him team up with the new KITT, make sure to check that out first. I'll link it in the description and up in the cards. Today's episode takes us into the California desert for some high-stakes racing, technology smuggling, and a betrayal that hits Mike right in the heart. So buckle up, because this one's a wild ride. Our story kicks off with Mike and KITT heading to the California high desert. Their mission? Track down the Chang brothers, Johnny and Ian, who have some serious criminal records and are apparently smuggling U.S. military technology overseas. The government suspects their auto export business is just a front, but they haven't been able to prove it yet. Mike's not going in alone, though. He's got backup from Sean Owens, an old army buddy who's now hanging around the Halfway House Raceway Tavern, which happens to be the Chang brothers' favorite hangout spot. Now, here's where things get interesting. When Mike rolls up to the tavern, Sean takes one look at him and says, "He looks pretty good for a dead man."
Pretty good for dead man.
Remember, everyone thinks Mike Tresseur died in that explosion from the pilot. Sean immediately warns Mike to stay away from the Chang brothers. But Mike's determined. He's there to race, and he's going to get close to these guys no matter what. Since the brothers aren't around, Mike starts chatting up Celine Lee, Ian Chang's girlfriend. And wouldn't you know it, Ian walks in right at that moment and immediately picks a fight. Sean tries to keep the peace by suggesting they take it outside, and that's when Ian challenges Mike to race for pinks. Winner takes the loser's car. Now here's where we get our first real taste of what the new KITT can do. Ian's riding in a modified ramjet car that's clearly built for speed, and he's pretty dismissive when he sees KITT. But KITT's got a few tricks up his hood? The race starts, and it quickly becomes clear that KITT can't win this thing in a normal mode. So he's forced to switch to attack mode. And use his turbo boost to jump over a car that's in the way. But here's the kicker. KITT warns that this might affect his structural integrity, and he has to switch back to normal mode, mid-jump, so nobody at the tavern sees his true capabilities. KITT wins the race, but he's sparking and smoking when he comes to a stop. Even worse, his voice modulator goes dark. Mike's suddenly dealing with a silent KITT. Ian loses control and crashes his car into an SUV, then runs away as the whole thing goes up in flames. This is a crucial moment because it shows us that KITT, for all his advanced technology, has limitations. Back at headquarters, Sarah's not happy. She's working on repairing KITT and insisting that she'll drive him when Mike heads back out. Meanwhile, Alex Torres and Charles Grayman fill us in on the bigger picture. All sorts of classified prototypes are potentially heading to China, and the government is desperate to stop this technology transfer. Mike returns to the tavern to collect his winnings, but Ian's car is now just a burned-out shell. So Mike makes a bold move. He offers to race for the Chang brothers, saying he needs a sponsor, and they need a driver. Johnny tells him to come back that night. This leads to one of my favorite character moments in the episode. Sarah and Sean are talking about Mike, and Sean reveals they went through training together before Mike was selected for Black Ops. He warns Sarah that he doesn't want Mike making the same mistakes he did. Sean also mentions he served time for fencing stolen property and talks about how hard it is to be the middleman, a comment that becomes very important later.
Problem being the middleman, get squeezed from both sides.
Meanwhile, Celine apologizes to Mike for causing trouble, but then Ian shows up with a knife. KITT warns Mike just in time, and he knocks Ian down, only to find Johnny pointing a gun at him. Johnny gives Mike an ultimatum: replace the car Ian wrecked by midnight the next day, or no deal. Here's where things get really interesting. The only suitable replacement car on the West Coast has already been stolen and is now in the hands of Dmitry Kasparov, described as an ex-con who fancies himself the Ukrainian Hugh Hefner and throws these model and bottle parties. Alex and KITT warn Mike that stealing this car would be grand theft auto, and they can't protect him if he gets caught. But Sarah volunteers for the job, saying she's had the same training as Mike, And, in her words, she looks better in a bikini. KITT synthesizes an invitation to Dimitri's party and creates a key for the target car. Sarah successfully infiltrates the party, knocks out Dimitri when he tries to stop her, and drives the car right out of the mansion while KITT handles the security systems. Back at the tavern, we get one of the episode's biggest mysteries. Mike is leaning on KITT's hood, talking to Sarah, when his tattoo touches the car's surface. Suddenly, KITT's display lights up with Mike's classified military files that KITT can't identify or access. As Mike tries desperately to read these files, the Chang brothers approach. Later, Mike tries to recreate the effect with his tattoo, but nothing happens. Billy scans the tattoo but finds nothing. The video feed didn't capture the files, and KITT's memory bank has been mysteriously cleared. When Mike accuses Alex of erasing KITT's memory, Alex insists he has no knowledge of what Mike saw, but promises to look into it. This mystery subplot adds a layer of conspiracy and personal stakes to Mike's story that goes beyond just the mission at hand. During the next race, Sarah follows the Chang brothers and discovers the truth. The race is just a cover for the real operation. They're building the stolen military technology right into the cars before shipping them out. It's actually a brilliant smuggling operation when you think about it. Sarah gets caught spying by Ian, but she punches him out and escapes. Mike abandons the race to help her, but Johnny knocks him out with a lead pipe. The Chang brothers take Mike out to the desert and bury him up to his neck in the sand, then taunt him by driving go-karts and trucks around him. KITT loses Mike's signal and can't track him by heat sources. In desperation, Sarah goes to Sean for help, and he agrees to help rescue Mike. This is where Sarah is forced to activate KITT and switch him to his four-wheel drive truck mode, showing off another one of KITT's capabilities. They arrive just as Ian is about to run Mike over, causing Ian's truck to flip. Sarah digs Mike out, but then Sean reveals his true colors. He punches Sarah out and pulls a gun on them. He tells Mike he tried to warn him, but Mike knows too much now. Sean chains both Mike and Sarah to Ian's truck while the technology transfer continues. The bad guys use some of the stolen technology to shut down KITT and his transponder, leaving our heroes seemingly helpless. But back at headquarters, Billy manages to access KITT's visual feed through a cell tower, and Charles reroutes power through KITT's backup systems. Mike manages to get his chain around Ian's neck and uses him as a human shield when Johnny tries to shoot him. Sarah, even with her hands bound, knocks out the guy who was digging her grave. When Johnny advances with a shotgun, KITT comes back online and cuts Mike's chain with a laser, then knocks out Johnny. Sean escapes across the desert in a vehicle with Mike and Sarah in pursuit. KITT warns they're heading toward a drop-off, but there's no time to intercept Sean safely as he continues firing at them. Sean's SUV nosedives off the cliff and explodes. It's a tragic end for a character who was genuinely conflicted about his choices. Back at headquarters, Alex confirms they recovered all the stolen technology. Mike asks about his tattoo mystery, but Alex says they're still working on it, clearly setting up future storylines. And that wraps up our recap of Journey to the End of the Night. This episode really stepped up the action and character development from the pilot, giving us high-stakes racing, emotional betrayal, and some genuine mystery elements that promise to pay off in future episodes. What did you think of Sean's betrayal? Were you surprised or did you see it coming? And what's your theory about Mike's mysterious tattoo? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you catch up on the episode, subscribe for more Knight Rider content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our recap of Episode 3. Until next time, keep on cruising and remember, one man can make a difference.